Have you ever wondered about those who dream of a better life versus those who create it? Are you waiting to accomplish your dreams and goals? Welcome to Create It Now. With your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth. For the next 60 minutes, we're going to put your dreams into motion and create it now. The phone lines are open at 731-1230. That's 731-1230. Or toll free 1-866-820-5528. That's 1-866-820-KLAV. Now let's bring on the host and create it now. Here is Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello, this is Jonathan Stone, and welcome to the Create It Now radio show, and I'm here with the lovely Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello, hello.
How you doing today?
Pretty good. I got my car fixed, so I'm super happy.
That's always a good thing. Broken
Yes.
cars are not good.
I know I can finally
Hitchhiking's
drive.
bad.
Yes, do not hitchhike.
Do not hitchhike in Vegas. Yes. But before we get started, I want everybody to know that Paul Shortino last week, who was here, and we did a whole show about gratitude with Bob Golden, which was amazing. And please listen to the rebroadcast on createitnowmedia.com. And also, please call in at 702-731-1230 because we're going to be giving away 5 sets of tickets for tonight's show.
Nice.
And, yeah, so they have Lou Graham here from the band Foreigner, and they have
Very
a choir.
cool.
So for the first 5 people that call in, we will actually be giving them tickets today for tonight's show.
Excellent. Very
And-
cool.
Yeah, then they can meet the whole cast and crew after the show right in front of the theater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we'll be there.
Well, of course. How can we
Yes.
miss that?
Yes, it's really exciting. So once again, the phone number is 702-731-1230, or you can email us at createitmedia.com.
Cool.
So, yeah.
So I'll keep that open. I'll look out for the emails as well
Thank
while
you,
we're
Miss
going
Dawn
through our
Elizabeth.
show today.
All right. In today's show, we thought we'd try to do something different. We always have amazing guests on, and today we just wanted people to get to know about us and our thoughts. And we thought about doing quotes. We're going to talk about quotes. We're going to dissect them, what they mean. Dawn and I, we're going to pick out some random ones that we might have different feelings what they mean. And if you have a favorite quote or anything out there, please feel free to call us or email us. Once again, the number is 702-731-1230, or create it at createitnowmedia.com. But I figured first we'd start off by talking about Albert Einstein. What do you think about that, Don?
He's a smart man.
He is.
Very cool. I like a lot of his quotes. He, am I allowed to say already? Am I allowed to give it away, what I like?
You can. Well, should we talk about him a little bit first?
Sure.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, Albert Einstein was born in March of 1879.
And those of you who don't know, wow.
Yes.
I can't believe it.
What, that he was born?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, no. Albert Einstein was born, and he was born in Germany. And a lot of people don't even know this as well, that he was asked to be the president of Israel.
What?
And he turned it down.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And because of a lot of this theory of evolution and everything like that, what Einstein also did, relativity, I mean, he was actually able to help us with the creation and the invention of the TV and remote controls and different things like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of interesting how there's a couple, like, almost different stories about him and his life. Like, there's the story that he had a hard time in school. He didn't talk until he was like 10 or something. But then on the other side, there's a story of, no, that's not true. He was a very smart man, and he was like top of his class all the way from grade school on. And so it's interesting that, you know, that can happen over time, like just different stories about
it's like the game of
individuals.
telephone.
Right.
You know, one person tells one thing, and then the story changes, and the story
Yeah.
keeps changing. Yeah, but if you go to actually his website, it doesn't say anything about that as him being a child. But we don't know. We weren't there. At least I wasn't. I
Well,
was playing hooky that year.
I was a few years off, but you know.
No, but he helped us with the development of the television, the remote control, automatic door openers, lasers, DVD players. And in 1999, he was recognized as the person of the century by Time magazine.
Oh, wow.
But what I really like about Einstein is that he was also pretty funny. Like, some of his quotes are pretty funny, and we're going to get into those in a second. And so he had a good sense of humor. It wasn't just all work, work, work. And he has some romantic quotes. And
So you got to play as well as have fun. So work
Yes.
hard, play hard. That's my saying. Work hard,
work hard, play hard. Is that your
Yes.
quote? That's a Dawn Elizabeth quote?
No, I guess I can't claim it, unfortunately. I would love to, though.
So what are some of your favorite Einstein quotes?
Mine is the biggest one is about insanity.
Right.
Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results.
Right. Now let's take it into modern life. I think we all do that with something. We try to keep doing it over, and it's not working. But yet we don't change. We don't make a change. And you know how I always talk about the 5-second rule or whatever. It's about making that change in direction. When you get to the street, there's that fork in the road. And I also believe in changing time. Like, if you woke up in the morning and every day you drink coffee, or you stopped at a certain coffee place, and then one day you make that change and go someplace else, I think your whole destiny and path will change.
Yeah.
So change is good.
It is good. And I think, too, like, sometimes I think people read into this quote a little incorrectly in the way that doing the same thing over and over again the exact same way is not going to get you different results. Now, it doesn't mean you can't keep revisiting the same idea. If it doesn't work one time, do it again, but a different way.
Right, but that's like Thomas Edison.
There you go.
It took him, how many times did he fail to have one success? He kept trying over and
Right.
over and over, but he tried different ways. If you keep doing the same thing over and over, you're just going to get in a rut.
Right.
And I think that's what he was talking about. If you just sit there and continually do the same thing, even though he does, it's like if you touch the stove and you get burnt, and you keep
Right.
touching your stove, you're going to get burnt.
And you say, "Ow, why am I getting burnt?"
Yeah, and you keep doing it, so it's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it goes along with a different quote from Albert Einstein where he said, it's not that I'm smart, it's just that I stayed with problems longer.
Right, never give up.
Right. So in a way, those two quotes to me are very relatable. He's just talking about he stayed with the same problem and continued to work on it, but he tried different ideas instead of doing the same one over and over.
We continued with his journey.
Yeah.
He didn't give up.
A lot of times when I do team building activities in my seminars, it's funny because there's one activity that I do where I know this is Vegas, it's going to sound a little weird, but we tie two people up. We tie them together. We link them together.
Did they have to pay extra?
Yes. We link them together, and as teams, they have to unlink these two people. Now, if you've ever seen the magic trick where two metal circles are combined, and then the magician pulls them apart, it's the same idea. And it's interesting to watch these teams because they will continue to redo the same idea over and over and over. When they step through one circle, they just go around the circle.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, wait, let's try this. And they step through the circle and go around the circle. And they do that over and over until we step back and look at it and talk about not doing the same thing over and over, trying different paths and things like that. So it's interesting to see it, even if we understand the concept of
But
this
you get
quote.
stuck.
Yeah, you still get stuck in the middle of it.
Yeah, you're like, why isn't this working? This should
Right.
be working, instead of backing up and taking a
Right.
look at the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
think that's really important.
To me, that's always a very interesting concept. And I find myself sometimes falling into it as well. So, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, we all do. I think we all get stuck. And so that's why we're changing up the format a little bit of the radio show, because we always have guests and we're always talking to them. But I think this is good to converse back and forwards and talk about,
This makes
quotes.
us talk to each other.
I know, it's pretty scary.
And
Nice.
people get to listen.
Yes. All right. It looks like we're going to go to our first break. Thank you for joining us at the Create It Now radio show. You can contact us at createitnowmedia.com, or please call in for tickets at 702-731-1230 for Raiding the Rock Vault.
Hey, it's Roxy from the 702 Rock Show, right here at VegasAllNetRadio.com. Listen to my show every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. to hear about local artists, musicians, fashion designers, and more right here in Las Vegas. So tune in every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. to hear me, Michelle Roxy Davis, right here at VANR on the 702 Rock Show.
Hey, this is Danny Vegas, and let me tell you something. When you're ready to stop dreaming and start doing, you need to tune in to my friends at Create It Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like I said, quit dreaming and start doing.
Welcome back to Create It Now. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hey, this is Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth again. Thank you so much for listening to us. You're listening to the Create It Now radio show. And today we're going to dissect quotes, famous quotes. And if you have a famous quote, please email us at createitnowmedia.com or give us a call at 702-731-1230. And like I said earlier, we're also giving away tickets for Raiding the Rock Vault tonight.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
That's an awesome show.
It's a great show.
You guys have to take advantage of that because the show is amazing. This is going to be the second time I've seen it. I have other friends. Magic Al, who is here and will be back here tomorrow, he's seen the show 3 or 4 times. Right. It's just such a great show. People need to take advantage.
Yeah, and they have Lou Gramm tonight from Foreigner, which I think will be amazing.
Nice.
It's going to be really good. So we're talking about Albert Einstein. You know, one of the things, well, like I said, his quotes, some of them are funny and stuff, but one that he had is the difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. And I think that's
nice.
great.
I really like that.
Because I think that's the whole thing about overthinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you overthink something, overanalyze, talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Where somebody, and I don't think he's actually talking about stupid people and different
right.
things like that. It's just people that don't
it's simpler.
think about it. Yeah, it's just life is simple. People make it hard.
Right. It can get too complicated.
Yeah. Well, it's also something like I've read today about love. You know, and this is like not general. Well, it is kind of generalizing to everybody. It's not anybody personal or anything like that. But like a lot of people have mothers or mother-in-laws that drive them nuts and drive them crazy or nag at them, or they have dads that are really opinionated, and they have, you know, siblings that are always late, you know, or friends that borrow things and don't bring it back. But yet we still love them. So if you look at all that, you know, and you think, and then why can't I love myself? I mean, if you love them for doing all that stuff to you, all those imperfections, you should be able to love yourself.
Right.
And put the energy into it. And I find a lot of people do that. They don't realize that they can love themselves.
Yeah, because a lot of people put other people first.
Right.
You know, that's a huge thing. Instead of putting yourself first and finding that in you before, you can find that in others.
Exactly. So let's go over another quote. Well, tell me another one of your favorite quotes.
From Mr. Einstein himself?
Mr. Einstein himself. we did invite him, but he just didn't show up. Won't even call in.
Seriously.
Hopefully he'll be at the show tonight.
He might. I think if you say his name in the theater, he might show up.
Exactly.
Does that work?
Click your heels 3 times.
Yeah, something like that. One of the Einstein quotes that I like is... well, it kind of goes along with what you're saying. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Kind of goes along with all the same ideas where if we created the problem, we're the problem. It's hard to see it when you're in the middle of it. Yeah. That's how I take that quote. Stepping outside of that or getting third-party view on the situation so that you can get a new light, a new view of what's happening.
So it's basically the same thing as coaching.
Yes.
Have somebody coach you.
Absolutely.
And we're really big fans of coaching.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times you can't see, when you're in the middle of something, like when you're in the middle of a storm, you can't see the edges. You can't see the outer side when it's going to pass because you're locked into the middle. So having somebody from the outside to be able to tell you what's really happening and going on in the full situation is always needed.
Yeah. Yeah. And like Les Brown always says, you know, once you can't see yourself outside the picture. Once you're inside the picture frame, it's good to have other people sit there, and it's not bad critiquing. It's, Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan, they have coaches and stuff, but these people aren't better basketball players or golfers than they are. They could just see, the difference that they would make if they changed, position, or that they're either stepping over the line or taking the shot wrong.
Right.
So it's looking from the outside.
Yeah. And a lot of times, this goes for people who are speakers or presenters in any way, even salesmen. Like, if you were to videotape yourself and then watch it, you get that third view. You get that third person view because now you get to see it from the outside as though you were somebody looking in on it.
Right.
Just kind of an interesting way to go about it.
But sometimes we're so critical on ourselves, like every nuance or something, the way you moved your head or you moved your mouth.
But still, you're starting to see the
Oh,
big
no,
picture.
I think I'm totally a big fan of it. I
think
agree
it's
with it.
Huge. A lot of people will record them giving a sales presentation or something and then never watch it. Well, what's the point of that?
Right.
So I think that's a huge way to really be able to see in yourself too. So when somebody on the outside tells you what they see, you understand it too.
And you can make change.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Like, you're right. I did see that. You're right. That was something that I am doing or whatnot. So to be able to step out of it yourself, if you can, is going to be very helpful.
Right. And bringing back some of the quotes that we said earlier, it's about taking a different path. Mm-hmm. When you listen and you hear and you realize, you can understand to take another path instead of just continuing over and over.
Right.
Instead of being so critical,
Yes.
I think we all do that. Another one of Einstein's quotes I like: "Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile."
Can you repeat that?
Yes. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Charity. Doing stuff,
Do for others.
Do for others.
Yeah.
It's not all about you. It's about
Right.
making a difference.
Always giving back and always doing more. And yeah, absolutely. The other day I was at a National Speakers Association meeting with Willie Jolly, who was speaking. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but it reminded me of this idea. And I wrote down a note to myself to remember to help others create more and take action. And because I get caught up in myself a lot, and I had to remind myself we're here to help other people and keep going forward with that.
Right.
And what you give out will come back.
Absolutely. Well, that's why we created the Create It Now show.
Exactly.
Is to make a difference and help people back. And that's why I'm really thankful for all the guests that we have that have, given input and have really been trying to help people. And it was even nice today while we come into the studio, somebody else who's doing a show here, Roxy, who will be here on Thursday, was talking about how the crowdfunding thing really helped her and how she learned a lot.
Right.
So I think that's great. I mean, Aggie's an amazing woman, but that people are taking away stuff.
Right.
And that the calls, when we get callers and stuff like that. I think it's really, really great. Do you have another quote? Or do you want me to?
Go for it.
Okay.
That's my quote.
There you go. Go for it. Yeah, I think Einstein wrote that. All right, so here's the one he wrote about dating. When you're courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. Which is my favorite.
Wow.
Yes. Like, some of these quotes you wouldn't even believe came from Albert Einstein.
Right. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I like it, though.
Yeah. You know what? I think everybody gets caught up in how brilliant he was. But on the other hand, how simple he was. He probably had the mind, like this brilliant genius mind, but also the mind of a child. Imagination, and to be able to dream, to be able to see. So he'd realize the difference between, just overthinking, and made it simpler, and just didn't have tunnel vision. So he was able to create and manifest these things. I wonder if he dreamt about a lot of his inventions
I don't know.
prior to it happening.
I don't know. But, that actually goes with one of my other quotes from him that I like. It's, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough.
Nice. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we have to start changing our thought. See, that's why we want to do this show and, break down quotes and see what we get out of it. And I think one thing that we got out of it is just it's simple. Like I said, life is hard. I mean, life is simple. People make it hard.
There you go.
Once again, life is simple. People make it hard, and we overthink it, and there's a lot of drama and chaos, and just don't need to be there. It's okay.
Right.
Life is okay. It's cool. All right, we have to go to another break now, and if you want to email us, we're at create at createitnowmedia.com. Once again, it's create at createitnowmedia.com, or give us a call at 702-731-1230. Thank you.
We're blowing it out at Gene Woods Racing Experience, Las Vegas's newest premier outdoor adrenaline-powered gasoline go-karting track with speeds in excess of 45 miles per hour if you've got the balls. We've got 2-for-1 Tuesdays, buy one and your friend rides free. We've got $5 off coupons, and remember, on your birthday, members ride free. And they get a free Gene Woods Racing Experience t-shirt, open Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. till 11. Saturday and Sunday, noon till 11. And we're located at 121 East Sunset Road in Las Vegas Boulevard at the Sports Center across from McCarran Airport. Come blow the doors off your competition at Gene Woods Racing Experience. Once you race here, you won't go anywhere else. Be there. Be there.
Why wait to accomplish your dreams when you can create them now? It's time to put your dreams into motion. Hi, this is Dawn Elizabeth with the Create It Now radio show on KLAV 1230 AM. Join us every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. We will help you move from a dream state to a create state. Become a part of the conversation on the Create It Now radio show about why some people dream it versus why other people create it. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on KLAV.
Create it now. Continues. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Welcome back to the Create It Now radio show. I'm Jonathan Stone. I'm here with the lovely Dawn Elizabeth. You can also follow us on Facebook /Create It Now or on Twitter, Dream It, Create It. So we're talking about quotes. We're dissecting quotes, and we've been talking in the first segment about Albert Einstein. And I think it's just amazing how all these people have quotes and stuff. I'm going to get into some other quotes from John Wooden too. There's just amazing quotes with so much knowledge and how people interpret it. Mm-hmm. So I think during our commercial break, you got a quote on Facebook.
Yeah. Life is simple. Figure out what you want, then figure out what you're going to do to give, what you are going to give up to get it, then do it. Don't complicate it.
Nice.
From Larry Wingate.
We like Larry Wingate.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody's ever heard him. He's really brilliant. So let's dissect that one. Let's dissect that quote.
I think it just kind of follows along. I mean, life is simple.
Right.
We don't have to complicate it. What do you want? Figure out how you're going to get it. Do it.
Right. So it's achieving your goals.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Let's dissect it in the sense of telling people how to achieve their goals, because that's what it sums up. Absolutely. And we talk about not, just writing goals. It's about achieving them, not creating them. Well, of course, you want to create it now goals.
Right.
But to achieve your goals and to do your tasks and to do a list and
to get it done,
to
absolutely
make it happen.
Yeah.
Without overthinking it.
Right.
It's like you put on your GPS and it's automatic and it goes. I think if a lot of people put themselves on like auto drive and figure out the basic tasks instead of overthinking it and looking back and saying, if I do this, it'll be wrong. Just do it. Like we had a caller last week who had an invention. Steve, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about it was 3/4 of the way done, and he didn't know if he should take it in to a company to see if they'll do a prototype or get it going or pick it up. And our advice to him at that point was, go for it. Take it in. It's not going to hurt. They can just say no, and you can always come back. But if you overthink it, it'll never be done.
Right. You'll never get anywhere with it.
So simplify your life and just... just
take
go
that
for
action. Even if you're not ready 100%, because how do you know what 100% really is?
Right. You're 100%. Somebody else's 100% could be different.
Absolutely.
Well, it is different, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So going for it and taking that action to get it done, not overthink it.
Right.
I've talked about it before. That's a big issue that I have. And I have to catch myself at times because I will think about it and really want to make it perfect before going forward with it. However, I know that it will never be perfect, and if it's perfect to me, it might not be perfect to somebody else.
Exactly. Your definition of perfect is completely different. I remember doing stand-up, and I would do a set, and like the first time I did it, it would be natural, and it's a new, to the audience. And then I would get in my head, because the next day, if I did the show again, I did a lot of the same material, say, oh my God, it's old, it's not fresh. But to them, it's all fresh. Mm-hmm. So I would overthink it so much, going, okay, I got to change every single day, create all this new material because it wasn't fresh. But yet, so many comics do the same hour bit night after night after night because of that audience.
Right.
It's fresh. So what you don't think is perfect might be a fresh, amazing idea to somebody else. And that might give them pleasure and let them enjoy it. So, and I think that's what we do.
Yeah, and it also lets people be able to give their input as well, because two heads is better than one. Having multiple perspectives is going to help create something even bigger. So letting people do that, letting people be a part of that process is also huge.
Right. Actually, that's great, because that brings me up to a quote. Now, it's not an Einstein quote, but just because you said two heads are better than one, there's nothing in a caterpillar that tells you it's going to be a butterfly, which I think is a great quote. It's the same thing like don't judge a book by its cover. Mm-hmm. And so just your two heads, where the disguise of life or the mask, again, people pass judgment, or they do it more with themselves. And they have this butterfly inside them. And caterpillars are cute too, but they have this beautiful thing that takes life, has wings, that flies, and everybody, a lot of people have different opinions on butterflies. Some people think they're angels. When you see a butterfly go, they also say, it's in spiritual terms that a butterfly can flap its wings in Tokyo or something and cause hurricanes and different things like that. But how
the
powerful
effect.
The butterfly effect, exactly.
Yes.
So I think that's what we do too. There's that beautifulness inside all of us to come out, and what we do is we manifest it and put that up. And we never think we look good enough, but to other people we could look beautiful. And who knows if the butterfly looks at the caterpillar, and what they think,
and what they think of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
very cool. Yeah, I think that you just need to get out and, I say, bring other people into the process as well, so that you can flourish and become that butterfly as a group as opposed to individually, because it's a lot easier and better and more exciting to share it with somebody than it is to do it on your own. Like, woohoo, I'm a butterfly and nobody's here to see
butterflies.
my wings. Yeah, exactly. Let's fly together.
I wonder how they got the name butterfly, if you think about it, butter and fly, because nobody really likes flies, but people love butter, if you think about it. So I don't know how they put that together.
That's how it is. It's a nice fly.
It's a nice fly. It's a pretty fly.
Yeah, that's what we should have called it.
Yes. And here's another quote about butterflies. The butterfly counts not months, but moments, and has time enough.
Wait, you should repeat that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
The butterfly counts not months, but moments, and has time enough. What I've heard is butterflies their cycle life is not very long.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're not counting times. Like a dragonfly supposedly only lives 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's a lifetime. Could you imagine that? 24 hours. So there's so much you could do, and that's about taking action now. And what our show is all about is taking action now. And think about it, the dragonfly. I mean, we should have that as some sort of quote, because the dragonfly only lives 24 hours.
I like
and what
that.
they can accomplish. And I wonder, we should look up like the distance they travel and different things like that.
Sounds good.
What are you pointing?
I say you should do it.
Oh, I should do it. I should look up the whole
Yes.
butterfly thing. Well, that's what our social media team is probably doing right now as we're talking and posting it on Facebook. That's a hint out to Janine and Dwayne out
At
there.
New Media Vegas.
Yes. I think that's our first shout out we ever did to them.
Yes, it could be. But they're amazing. They're on top of it.
Yes, they
Absolutely
are. They're
love
great.
them.
And they make us
Talking
look
about a
good.
team and being butterflies together, working with a great team is what helps us keep moving forward.
Right. And they, you know what? They do so many shows, but they're always on top of it. And they're there for us.
Yeah.
All times at night and stuff like that. All right. Well, this is Jonathan Zone. We're going to take another break now. Thank you for listening to the Create It Now radio show. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Hi everyone, this is New Media Vegas, your Sin City webmasters in Las Vegas, Nevada.
More than just web design, complete integrated marketing with inspired innovations in delivery of your new media message, putting the groove and the backbeat back in your brand.
The hottest in design trends with the latest innovations in marketing techniques. Call New Media Vegas at 702-517-0184.
Or visit us online at www.newmediavegas.com. Don't forget to check out our online magazine, Sin City Presents, featuring business, technology, fashion, dining, and entertainment news.
702-517-0184. 702-517-0184.
I'm Wyland, and this is for Create It Now Radio. I hope you guys will all listen in. It's got a great message.
From the entertainment capital of the world, listen to On Stage in Vegas on the fourth Thursday of each month at 9 p.m. right here on KLAV. You'll hear interviews, stories, and valuable life and business lessons from performers, producers, and directors who have created success on stage in Vegas and around the world. Join me, Big Magic Al Jensen, and Michelle Roxy Davis as we bring you stories from the stage that are guaranteed to inspire, motivate, and entertain. If you can't make it live, log on to VegasAllNetRadio.com to find show archives and bonus interviews. Either way, we look forward to seeing you on stage in Vegas.
Those who can do. This is Create It Now. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello and welcome back to the Create It Now radio show. Today we're talking about quotes and dissecting them, and which is kind of funny because we're just talking about caterpillars and butterflies, but we're not dissecting them. And also, once again, please, we have tickets for Raiding the Rock Vault tonight with Lou Graham at the LVH.
Yep, we still have a few available. So
yes, so please call us at 702-731-1230 or email us at createitmedia.com. So,
and on Facebook, Ask and You Shall Receive, our lovely new media team has posted another quote that goes along with what we're talking about. The quote is, "When we delay asking for help, there is a greater chance that the very consequences we fear most, rejection, loss of control, shame, will come true."
Oh, that is so true.
Yeah. So we delay asking for that help and getting people on our team because we're afraid of that rejection and loss of control, and also just fear of success, I think, too.
Yeah, but I think that's where it goes to about giving and receiving. A lot of people like to give, and they don't know how to receive.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to receive, you're not going to be able to take things to the next level. You need that help. You need support. There are people out there to help you, and that's what we try to do here at Create It Now. Anybody who has a small business or coaching, anything they need, we can team them up with different individuals to help them grow. Or we'd love to hear from people about that have different ideas or things that they want to accomplish, and whatever we could do to help. You got to reach out, and that's the most important thing. It is reaching out, and you'll see the more you reach out, more people will be there for you, and it'll be the right people, and that's the most important thing. You don't want to be around negative people. You want people that are supportive and that believe in you, and people would be really surprised how many people are out there that are willing to help and to help make a difference.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if anybody ever asked me for help, I'm there. I would do whatever I can. If somebody wants to better their life,
right.
You know, I mean, it's really important. That's what charity and everything's all about.
Absolutely.
And individuals.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's, in a way, I think that's a big reason why we're all here on the planet, is to help each other out and help each other in a positive way.
In a positive
there
way.
There we go. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's a big part of the overall plan of the world.
Yeah, I know I've had a lot of problems asking for help and reaching out to people, pride, ego, whatever it may be. But I found myself thinking I know better.
Right.
You know, and that actually brings me to a kind of a funny quote for today. A woman's guess is much more accurate than a man's certainty.
Wait, say that again?
Oh, because you liked it so much. Yes. It's not true, though. This is one of those fake quotes. But a woman's guess is much more accurate than a man's certainty.
Interesting.
Yes, that's what they say. So I guess that's a whole asking for directions thing.
Could be.
Yeah, so
The woman's intuition.
The woman's intuition.
Yeah,
well, we're just giving you this one here.
I like it.
because I've been talking so much this whole
Right.
show. But yeah, but I guess in a way, because guys are stubborn.
Yeah.
I mean, we really are.
Mhm.
Would decide and a woman would be like, yeah, do this way, go this way, or ask her, I think this will help. And we're like, what do you know? Yeah. And then again, we get lost.
Yes. And I had this conversation the other day with someone, and it kind of goes along with the behind every great man is a good woman.
And then a man behind her.
Right. There you go. Well, yeah, I mean, I just think there's, in any situation, there's, I think, a male perspective and a female perspective. And having both of those in one team or multiple of those in one team is going to be very helpful.
Oh, yes. And women are really powerful in the workplace right now. I mean, some of my business partners are very powerful, successful women, and they're brilliant. And I
thank
love
you.
that. Yes. Yeah. Here. So let me jump to this one. A man is given the choice between loving women and understanding them. So I think most guys just choose to love them instead of understand them. We're just like, we give up. We're like, whatever.
We're too complicated.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, well, you look so pretty. We love you.
I'm sure your mother loves to hear that one.
Yes. Well, she's always like, don't fix things. It's not, don't fix it. Guys always try to fix.
Guys try to fix.
And then she gets all mad.
Yep.
Just listen. Don't try to fix it.
There's
don't know.
a lot we can learn from sitcoms, because almost every sitcom has to do with that situation. Is things that are screwed up, and then how the woman or the wife is upset about it. And so, I mean, you can definitely learn from the sitcoms. So television
Absolutely.
isn't all bad.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, and here's another funny quote, but I believe it doesn't, from Marcel Marceau, the famous one. Never get a mime talking. He won't stop.
Nice.
So if you guys see a mime,
Don't
ask
ask
him
him
to talk.
questions.
Yes. We'll have to do it. Let's see. So here's a good quote. Well, it's actually a question. By Ralph Marston. What you do today can improve all your tomorrows. And that's like what our show's about taking action now.
Yeah. And one of, I don't know whose quote this is, but it's, do something today that you'll be proud of yourself in a year for. And if you always live that way, doing something today that you can look back in a year and be proud of it, that you're always going to be making those positive choices and decisions.
Right. And so I think that's great. Like, what you do today can improve all your tomorrows. And I think it's from quitting smoking, going on a diet, going to the gym, working out, making any kind of change in your life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need to look at, is they need to sit back and say, okay, if I do this today, and that's what we were talking about in the beginning by choice of path. It all kind of, if you look at most of the quotes we've been doing today, it all comes back to full circle. It's about making a choice, making a decision, following your heart, taking action, starting. Just do it. Don't overthink it. Keep it easy. Don't make it too complicated.
And I think, too, with that, though, you need to first ask yourself the question of, what do I want?
Right.
A good way to do that question is to ask yourself, if money was not an issue, if time and place was never an issue, what would you be doing right now?
Right.
What is it that you want to be doing? If nothing in the world was a factor, what would it be? And then whatever it is for you, what can you start doing to get close to that, or get on the path of being there or doing that? So
going on your journey.
Yeah. Got to find out what it is you want before you can take action.
Exactly. Well, I think with most people, they know more what they don't want than what they want.
Which can get you to what you do want.
Right. But I think you can take the average person and say, what do you want? And they'll be like, but if you go, what don't you want? The list will be miles and miles long.
Yeah.
Because people don't take the time to really actually
think about it.
Yeah, and factor in everything and really decide what they want. Because once you know what you want, I think it creates this whole new opportunity for you to get what you want in life and to go after it, to have that clear path and simplify it again without talking yourself out of it and surrounding yourself with good people to help you get there. Maybe that should be an exercise. We should just write what they want. And then if they could actually, I think here's one of the things. This is what I just thought about. When we said asking for help and stuff, what if you decided what you wanted to do and then you had a wish list, people that were alive or dead, famous people, different things like that, and you want to ask those people questions or ask them for help, successful people, even like if you want to ask a president or somebody a question, a lot of those answers can be answered by everyday people around you.
Right.
So maybe everybody's put their expectations up so high, just thinking that, oh, I need this person. I can never make it unless this person was my coach. Or Tiger Woods had the best coach. I don't have Tiger Woods' coach. But I'm sure Tiger Woods went through multiple coaches. And Michael Jordan went through multiple coaches in school and when he played professionally.
Well, yeah.
So I think, that's the thing about overthinking it again. And I bet you all of us could write down lists and go, oh, I know I'd be a lot more successful if I asked so-and-so and I asked this person, but without looking right in their community for mentors.
Right.
And so we have to take a break now, but one of the things is we have the Create It Now Angels, and we'd like you to sign up for that, and maybe you can mentor somebody. So if you want to talk to us, please call us at 702-731-1230.
The best television isn't on television. It's on the internet. Log on to realwisdomtv.com for thousands of hours of motivational and inspiring content. On demand, all the time. Unlike network television with its sex, drugs, and rock and roll, realwisdomtv.com provides wellness, wealth, and wisdom. From how to read faster to creating greater wealth, realwisdomtv.com is for you. The learning never stops, and neither does realwisdomtv.com. Log on now to realwisdomtv.com.
This is Les Brown, Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. Those of you that are listening, I encourage you to listen to Create It Now, because it will teach you how to live full and die empty, how to begin to manifest your greatness and make your mark.
Welcome back to Create It Now. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Welcome back to the Create It Now radio show. Once again, please contact us for Raiding the Rock Vault tickets for tonight. Paul Stratino was kind enough in the group to give us a few sets of tickets for tonight's show, and it's going to be an amazing show. We'll be there. Lou Graham from Foreigner is guest starring. Today's his last day. And Don and I have been talking about quotes and making change and how a lot of these quotes, which I'm finding interesting, ties back around.
Mm-hmm.
And about asking for help and reaching out, which is really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another person who had amazing quotes and stuff like that. Okay, the studio's falling apart here. Had nothing to do with us. They sound like a seal.
I think Albert Einstein might be in the studio now.
Exactly. That was quite an interesting sound.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, it sounded like a seal or something. And
maybe
we're in the
Weiland is back.
Yeah, Weiland is back painting for us. Another brilliant person who had amazing quotes and some funny quotes too is Abraham Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of his quotes that I like is, "Better to remain silent, to be thought a fool, than to speak out and remove all doubt." So because again, it's judging a book by the cover.
Right.
Rather not say anything than say
Mm-hmm.
something foolishly, and which a lot of us do. It's that acting is reacting kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where we need to take time and sit back and think, or before we write an email, or before we react. You
have to think about it before you say it.
Yes. Because a lot of times we don't. I know I find myself at times, well, in the past, I've gotten much better at it, but that I would be more reactive to situations. And I'm thankful now that I bite my tongue. And Jonathan Barbado, when he was on the show, really taught me about sitting back and seeing what the emotional connect is with myself, and if I should react or not, and where they're coming from.
Right.
And that's what we were talking about also with the 4 agreements the other day about don't taking things personally and stuff like that.
And then also we talked about having, when you write it out, what your feelings about the situation, writing it out can really help you figure out what it is that you really do feel about it and what you would really want to say to another individual.
Right.
Which is a good way to really kind of let that emotion subside so that you can use logic to make your decision.
Which is great, because if you think about, like, when Bob Golden was here, he does the cards.
Right.
And we were talking about, sometimes conveying that message, or even with email and text and different things like that, it gets lost.
Mm-hmm.
And so now doing cards and stuff like that, or just, as you said, writing things down,
Yeah.
You get more clarity.
Yes.
And it lets you really understand what you want to say, what you want to present.
Mm-hmm.
Even, most of the speakers and everybody, they write it down. It's about being prepared. Another one of Abraham Lincoln's quotes that I really like is, most folks are happy as they make up their minds to be. And if you think about it, that's what so many of the speakers talk about now. Who knew Abraham Lincoln was a speaker? I bet he'd be huge on the speaker tour.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Especially if he was still alive.
Well, yeah, that would help.
Right.
That's always a plus. Yeah.
He would be the oldest man in the world.
He probably would be. Hopefully without a bullet hole in his head, because that would just be bad.
Absolutely.
Well, no, but he could sell more tickets.
Well, maybe.
Come play with the bullet hole.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. No, but think about it. Most folks are happy as they make up their minds to be.
Yeah.
And that's with the law, everything from The Secret to everything, basically, all the books that you read now, is you have to be happy. And whatever you tell yourself, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can. It's the same exact thing. And we talk ourselves out of so much.
Yeah. One of the quotes, can I share one of my favorite Abraham Lincoln quotes?
We would love you to.
Excellent. One of my favorite quotes is, don't believe everything you read on the internet just because there's a picture with the quote next to it.
Abraham Lincoln wrote that.
Yes, if you search online, you will find that quote by Abraham Lincoln.
Nice.
I find that to be, just in general, good tip. I mean, not everything that you read or hear is going to be the truth, and you need to do your own investigation, research to find out if it really is true.
He probably put that on his chat line or something like that.
I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm guessing that's what he would talk about if he was here on the speaker circuit.
Yes. Yeah. So he's quoting. No, that's good, though.
Yeah.
I wonder if he does back of the room sales as well.
Probably.
Tries to sell stuff. Yes. Yeah. Another one of Abraham Lincoln's quotes.
A real one?
A real one. That wasn't real?
Of course.
Okay, that came from Dawn Elizabeth. All my quotes are real. Let it be known. Dawn Elizabeth makes stuff up.
Thank you.
Her and Abraham Lincoln. A friend is one who has the same enemies as you have. It's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of deep.
It is. Kind of know where your friends lie and what they're... Yeah.
And to team up with people that are on your side. So I think I think what he really meant is surround yourself with people that are on your side. And I don't think the enemies actually have to be people.
Right. It doesn't have to be enemies in that negative type of word. Just you're on the same team. You have the same beliefs, the same dreams, the same goals.
Right.
Things like that.
It's like in sports. Like your other team, you guys can go out and have drinks or stuff later, but right then they're your enemies, so your teammates are really important. And surrounding yourself with good people so you can hit your goals. Yes.
Yeah. And people who will help lift you up, not people that are going to give you those negative thoughts or be the devil's advocate and all of that. Making sure that you're putting people on your team that are there for the same reasons as you.
Right. Surround yourself with good people.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time. You got to love that.
Yeah.
Best thing about the future is it comes one day at a time.
Slow down, make it simple.
Yeah, and just keep creating it, taking action. Every day if you take action, you're building a future. And even if you hit certain little goals, tomorrow you'll be like, oh my God, I accomplished that. I used to write down goals, make a list of 10 goals, and then the next day would come and I would do my goals, whatever I would achieve my goals. And then if I did extra stuff, I used to write it down on my list
so
as
you
well.
Can mark it off?
Yeah, so I could just mark it off, even though like some crazy, like take out the trash or pick up dry cleaning. But it was like, oh, I accomplished this. I accomplished this.
It feels good to accomplish something.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's kind of a cool thing because you can start over. You can always start over. It's never too late. You can create the future that you want. You can manifest the future you want.
Mm-hmm.
Take action now. Start.
Yeah. And if you start and it turns out to not be the path you want to be on, it's okay. That's why you're surrounding yourself with people who are supportive. You can change. You can be able to find that path, even if it might take a few different times. That's okay. Right. No one's perfect the first time around.
But I think the best part of that is that you fall down, get back up. You fall down 7 times, you get back 8 times.
Yeah.
tomorrow's a new beginning. Create that new future.
Absolutely.
You know, make your decision today, and then tomorrow you one day further to accomplishing your dreams.
Right.
So just, you don't have to go for the big goal right now. You don't have to like swing and go for it out of the park. I mean, you should do that in the whole thing of your life. Swing at everything and make it happen. But take those baby steps and to create your future.
And celebrate those wins along the way.
Absolutely.
So that you keep wanting to move forward towards your goal. That's one thing I'm always talking about when I'm out teaching and training, is making sure you're celebrating those successes that you do have, the little ones.
Absolutely.
Even if it's just a, hey, great job, it feels good to hear that. So remembering that with people on your team.
Right. No, I agree. Another one of Abraham Lincoln's quotes is, I'm not destroying my enemies when I make friends of them. It's kind of a question. Am I not destroying my enemies when I make friends of them? Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But I think you can use that in life as well, by accomplishing things. So let's change the word enemies with hurdles or obstacles.
Right.
So am I not getting past my obstacle when I accomplish it or create it or move past it?
Right.
Getting it out of my way. And I think that's what Abraham Lincoln was looking at, because then, well, I mean, when he was on the internet and everything and he was blogging, but I think a lot of what his thought too was simplicity. Look, this is my enemy. This is my obstacle. This is this. What's the smartest, best way to make them my friend?
Right.
You know, embrace them. If I embrace them,
and
I embrace the problem, and I embrace, the people, how will that change my life, and how will that better things for me? So I think he was another brilliant man that thought in very simple ways of common sense. It's basically common sense. If we look at a lot of these quotes, it's everything we all know.
But we have to remind ourselves.
Yes.
Because things get in the way, we get in our own heads, and we kind of forget these things.
Right.
So being able to remind ourselves, and I like to have quotes, like I have them on my phone, and I read through them now and again, so that it kind of puts me back on path. Whenever I'm kind of finding myself maybe upset or depressed, I'll read through them to pump myself back up.
And I think quotes are really important. I think that's why we did this show today about quotes, because there are so many quotes out there. You can go to brainyquotes.com, and people should get affirmations daily. One of the other ones that I really like from Abraham Lincoln is, be sure you put your feet in the right place, then stand firm. Do what you believe. Take a stand on things that you believe, and then stand firm, by believing in yourself.
Right.
When we were talking about people talking to you about negative, wanting you to fail, or anything like that, where take a stance, make it happen.
Nice.
More people that say no. Like I talked about this the other day with Irving Azoff, and from his hospital bed. Yeah, it only takes one yes.
Yeah.
So you get 1,000 no's, but it just takes one yes, and if you keep believing.
Earlier, when Abraham Lincoln. I mean,
when he called in,
no,
he's going to Rating the Rock Vault tonight.
Einstein, with the quote from Einstein was, he just sticks with the problem longer.
Right.
So it's that same idea, because you got one no. Oh, forget it.
Exactly.
Keep with it, because there's how many people in the world? 7 billion people in the world. One no is not the end all of it. Keep moving forward till you get that yes.
Exactly. And you will get that yes.
Yeah.
You absolutely will get the
Definitely.
yes.
Great show today. I love talking about the different quotes. It's all the time we have on the show today. And you can re-listen to the broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. on Vegas All Net Radio, or go to our website, www.createitnowmedia.com, to check out the archive shows, the different shows that we've mentioned, plus the other ones that we've had. And we will be back tomorrow, Wednesday, October 23rd, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., and the special guest will be
Magic Al and Dawn Elizabeth. Me. She's going to be interrogated by Al.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yes.
All right. So you don't want to miss tomorrow's show, and we will see you tomorrow. Dream big, take action, and create it now.
Have an amazing day, and we'll see you at Rating the Rock Vault.